the info, so good. But I didn't write the info.
All
I
right,
didn't write the law.
we laugh. You know what I'm saying?
That lie.
Yeah, we back live. Thank you guys for supporting. You know what I'm saying? We got the brother on the line.
All
Tribe
right.
Up, tribeup.app. We bringing it to you raw, straight data. We're not just talking myths. We're not talking ifs. We're literally showing you. He's literally showing you. You know what I'm saying? In the description box, we do have a private chat going at the same time. This is not a Google Hangout, so we cannot send you the link. You know what I'm saying, you can go in the description box, you can contact the brother yourself, you know what I'm saying, but we doing some work together. We got a lot of work to do, and we got more presentations that's going to be coming. But don't forget, this is every Sunday. We're going to be hitting you every Sunday, straight raw, straight flame. YouTube can't even handle it, they shutting us down, but it's okay though. We getting our own stuff, and we making sure it's perfected. And so thanks for everybody for coming out and supporting. But we finna go back in, so we ain't done
Yeah.
yet. Don't think we like saying goodbye yet. So we still going in. So if you can catch us up to speed, bruh. And
No problem.
and whoa, hold on, what happened?
Yeah,
In,
yeah, I'm still here. I'm good.
okay, anything happening to anybody feed? Cause man's just cut off. Is we
Still
still
going
live?
so far. It's still going
You
so
still
far.
going? Okay, yeah,
Uh
Mash,
huh.
Okay,
Mash
cool.
just got
Yes.
weird. Okay, yeah, and so y'all can also check him out at tribeup.app. What's your name in there? Um, yeah, he's in tribeup.app as well.
Yep.
So
Under yeah, tribeup.app under Ynga Kota. I think that's the username. Ynga Kota. Um, definitely. It might change to American Aborigine One, but definitely we're gonna do this thing.
yep, and so he gonna go ahead and catch us up to speed. I'm gonna go ahead and fade out. I gotta put the kids in the tub, but I'm gonna be listening, and I'll
Hey,
try to
them
say.
babies, them babies, them
Oh,
babies.
Children.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
We
sorry.
gon' we gon' we gonna keep
Yeah,
reminding
yeah.
you
Right,
Just,
we're
just
gonna
in
let me
love,
know. Just let me know. I'm,
in
I'm
love.
we got
programmed.
you.
Yes,
I'm an operating
We got
system, and I am programmed. So you guys keep
we
deprogramming me.
understand.
Them children,
absolutely
my kids,
right.
my loved ones, my
There you
babies.
go.
You still
Okay.
said
Babies.
it.
Right, he
Oh,
Bye.
still
oh,
gonna
oh,
say
oh,
kids.
shit. Oh, my
It's
babies,
all there you go.
my
Just keep the
children.
kids out of it, right? Listen,
Okay.
that's all
They're
good.
not goats.
Hey, we
Okay.
only one that's able to correct ourselves and we have fun doing this not out of hatred but out of love that we do it because we don't want to be goats. And we don't want our children to be treated like animals no more. So
Muted.
we just gonna come out of that. And we're gonna help everybody to do it. So I appreciate you, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch everybody up. So we left last off before the connection feed was interrupted. We was going over the Constitution where it stated Indians not taxed, right? Excluding Indians not taxed, which means we don't come under the burden of the responsibility or under the burdens of the Constitution as much as we are the enforcement arm of this document that our ancestors wrote according to House Congress Resolution 331, which also backs this up. Now to back up who they're actually talking about, let's look at the terms and definitions for the Constitution, and for that I switched over to Bouvier's 1856 6th edition Constitutional Dictionary. It has all the terms and definitions that is used in the Constitution and the laws of the United States. And it states Indians. Chief, you want to read that? Chief, know your meaning? You still with us? You want to read the term Indians? What does the term Indian? And then we'll get Jay Freeway to get some stuff in as well, and anybody else who want to chime in.
Indians, the Aborigines of this country. Oh, I got a feedback.
Right? The Aborigines. And we figured out that in the definition of America, it states right here, the Aboriginals, right? A native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races. It lined up, didn't it?
Yes.
Man.
Okay. Aborigines of this country are so-called,
Right, the
in
Indians.
general, Indians, have no political rights in the United States. They cannot vote at the general elections for officers,
Nope.
nor hold office.
Nope, can't do that. So we can pause right there because since we are not the property of this United States or the United States of America. We're above that. So, in other words, we don't dip in they colonist stuff, and they can't dip in our stuff. We can regulate them. We don't have any political rights. We don't get a choice to vote for who they president and stuff, because voting for president relinquishes your rights of being an Aborigine, because you give that up in order to be a U.S. citizen or get your U.S. citizenship in order to vote. So you can vote if you're a U.S. citizen, but if you're an Aborigine, stay in your lane. You ain't got nothing to do with their stuff. Only thing you got to do is make sure they ain't running over stuff and they behaving correctly, and that's what we got to do. Make sure they regulating stuff correctly. That's our job. And then it states Indian tribe. What's an Indian tribe, sister?
Okay. A separate and distinct community or body of the Aboriginal Indian race of men found in the United States.
So, again, there's the word Aboriginal. Aboriginal and Aborigine. We're separate. We are separate.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? We got our own sovereignty. As it states, exercising the powers of a government and sovereignty under who we are. We're capable of our self-government. But we're not deemed as a foreign state in the sense of the Constitution, which it states here, but is not deemed a foreign state in the sense of the Constitution. We're not that. Nor are we a domestic independent nation. Some people have been dependent on that government and some people not. Some people are in a state of pupillage like the Native Americans, some are not. Everybody are not a ward of the state, and some people are. If you consider yourself a Native American, you are a ward of the state. If you consider yourself an Aborigine of the land, you're not a ward of the state, because there ain't no papers to ever prove it. That would be called slavery right there. Ain't no slaving papers that nobody got that they signed. There are people who did sign that. That's called the Native Americans, and that state of pupillage comes when they have to take that oath, because according to Title 25 and Title 42, it states a Native American is a citizen of the United States of America and owes their complete allegiance to the same. And they got to take an oath and all of that shit to protect, support, and defend the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. So those Native Americans are definitely foreigners in our land, and it only pertains to people of Aleut blood. Only of Aleut blood, which we'll get into that definition. So you can see that. That's what it means. What is it, 25 USC, 25. Here we go. Obligation of treaties. Oops, I didn't want.
Unmuted.
Yeah.
Can you show us that? Can you show us that?
Yeah, I'm about to go there right now. Yeah, I'm about to go there right now. Let me. Yep.
Muted.
Ain't gonna leave y'all hanging on that. Like I said, this is where we prove all things. 25 U.S. Code 72 Obligation of Treaties says whenever the tribal organization of any Indian tribe is in actual hostility to the United States, the president is authorized by proclamation to declare all treaties with such tribe obligated by the tribe if in his opinion the same can be done consistently with good faith and legal and national obligations. So what's a tribal organization? It's important to read that. Somebody read what tribal organization means, please. Anybody at all?
The term tribal organization means the organized governing body of any Indian tribe, band, nation, pueblo, or organized community, including a native village as defined in Section 1602C of Title 43, or in connection with any personal action referred to.
Yeah, I'm about to get there. Now we need to, yeah, go ahead.
In that subsection, any local school board to which the governing body has delegated the authority to grant a waiver under this section with respects to a personal action.
Not personal, but personnel.
Personnel action.
Right, not personal. No, personnel. They talking about jobs and employees and shit like that, not people. Totally different. That sounds like commercial shit to me. So let's see how it's defined in section 1602C of Title 43, because that's what it says, right? So all I'm doing, people, is copying that. This is how we search the rabbit hole. If you read too fast and if you don't pay attention to numbers when they come up, you're going to lose it. So we're going to go there. We're going to tab over. I'm just Control V, just pasting it right there. And we get to 43, section 1602, definitions, right? And let's go. What does native mean? Go ahead, brother. You was doing a great job.
Native
What is,
means a citizen of the United States.
oh, a citizen of what?
The United States.
Damn. Who is what?
A person of 1/4 degree or more Alaskan Indian, including what's his
Tishman.
Tishman
Tishian. Tishmishin. Tishmishin.
Tishman Indian, not enrolled in the
Metlaka.
Metlakota
Yeah, Metlaka or something like that.
Metlaka Metlaka Indian community, Eskimo or Inuit blood, or a combination therefore. The term includes, scroll up, I can't see.
Yep. I'm going. Boom.
Wait. Okay, the term includes any native as so defined, either or both of whose adoptive parents are not natives. It also includes, in the absence of proof of a minimum blood quantum, any citizen of the United States who
Mm.
is regarded as an Alaskan native by the native village or native group of which he claims to be a member, and whose father or mother is, or if deceased was, regarded as a native by the village or group. Any decision of the secretary regarding eligibility for enrollment shall be final.
Boom. So it don't mean us, do it? Does it mean us, or does it just mean people of Aleut blood? Who does it mean? Native. Is that us, or is that the Native Americans?
The Native Americans.
That ain't us, because anybody in here got Aleut blood and from Siberia and stuff like that? Anybody on the line fit that description? Judging by the silence, I'm going to say no.
No.
So, what's a native village, you might ask? What's a native group, you might ask? What is public lands? What is state? State means the what? State of where? State means what? What does state means in F?
Alaska.
And then B or H, person means what? What does
Any
H mean? Person.
any individual group, firm, corporation, association, or partnership.
Damn. What does municipal corporation mean? In I.
Means any general unit of municipal government under the laws of the of the state of Alaska.
Damn. It's all corporations, isn't it? What does village corporation or native village corporation mean? Right? It's all under the laws of something else, and it's a profit. It could be a for-profit organization or not-profit or corporation. We see it's all business. It ain't us. What's that?
All commercial. It's all commercial terms.
It ain't got nothing to do with us because it's called a native corporation. You see how they catch you in, and the natives are ran by because it says the enrollment is up to who? The people, or is the enrollment up to the secretary? And they mean secretary, to get it right, means the Secretary of the Interior. So what part of a foreigner get to tell you who your family is? You see what I'm saying? It's a game. So they ain't talking about the Aborigines. You feel me? The natives are certainly a citizen, and they come under the Immigration Act, and all Native Americans got to pay taxes. So says the IRS. So tribal organization, native village, all of this stuff don't mean us. Are we clear on that? Did we clear that up? Is that cool? So where we are is Aborigines to the land, and we are not taxed. Does everybody see that? Or we still need some more guidance with that?
What page is that on?
What's that?
What page is that on?
That's
This
Title 20,
Or
Title
or title?
25
oh, which
United
title? That
States
was
Code.
title 43 USC section 1602, which gives you the definitions page for the term of native. That's why you should never use Native American, because native means a citizen of the United States. The United
Yeah.
States means the state of Alaska. Ha 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 ha.
Wow.
Yeah. It got you a corporation of a corporation inside a corporation with inside another corporation.
Yeah, and then people will
There's no
say
others.
that
You become not anymore.
Aborigines are the ones who are from Australia, and
Nope.
there's no legal definition.
Copy
We
that.
don't want a legal definition though, right?
Well, here's the legal definition. Indians mean the aborigines of this country are so called. This is the legal definition. I'm giving it to you. Indians mean us. Native don't mean us. We are the aborigines. Indian tribe states a separate and distinct community or body of the aboriginal so-called Indian race of men found in the United States. And the reason why they say Indian, because that's the term that's enshrined in House Congress Resolution 331, where it says Indian tribal nations. And that's also the term that's used in excluding Indians not taxed in the Constitution. And this Bouvier dictionary is the constitutional dictionary that has the terms and the agreements, or all the definition, not the agreements, but the definitions that is used in the Constitution, as it states here, and the laws of the United States of America and states of the American Union. So it's got a lot of information in it.
And to add to that,
So
the first edition of this is 10 grand.
the and the first edition is 10,000. This is a sixth edition published in 1856. The first edition is where the real money is, but again, this will work because that's what we going on, unless somebody want to get the book and got 10 grand to spare on that. But if you got 10 grand to spare, then we got some other stuff that we can use 10 grand for. Definitely.
What is this edition? Sorry?
This is the revised sixth edition.
Okay.
The first edition is 10,000. This sixth
Okay.
edition is from constitutionsociety.org. And it's entitled The Law Dictionary,
Unmuted. Muted.
Constitution and Laws of the United States of America and of the several states of the American Union by John Bouvier.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I could put the link, and I think I already did put the link in there, but I'll put it in there again. Oops.
Yeah.
And you can also go further in with the word citizen. It also gives a distinct a difference between or a reason why we're not a part of it.
Absolutely. Citizens are corporate constructs and are foreigners. You cannot be a foreigner in your own land. Can you understand that? Although mentally they made us foreigners in our own land, like King stated. We find ourselves in exile in our own land. Can you dig it? So,
Do you think that that Dr. King really knew who we were?
yeah, he said it in 1965 in an interview with Alex Haley. He says, "We are not from America nor any other imaginary place."
Mm.
Let's see. I'm going to say 1965. Boom. We'll go. Haley's 1965 Playboy interview with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. So let's go down and see what he says. The law, militantly nonviolent, Here we go. Anybody want to read this, or y'all want me to read it? All right, I'm going to go hard at it.
My daughter want to take a stab at it.
Oh, go for it. So we're right here. Haley's is going to ask the question, so I'm going to highlight this part. We're going to start here, then we're going to go to King's response, and then I'll scroll as she reads. And King's response ends in about 3 paragraphs. So we'll kick it off with the Haley's question. So go ahead. Your daughter can very well read that. Let's go.
Your dissatisfaction
with the Civil Rights Act reflects that of most other Negro spokesmen. According to recent polls, however, many whites resent this attitude, calling the Negro ungrateful and unrealistic to press his demands for more.
That was beautiful. And what did King response with, sister? What was King response to Alex Haley question? Now, let me set this up before you get into that. Remind you, Alex Haley is the same cat that plagiarized Roots 15 years later and put it out as We Come from Africa. Just keep that in mind. We all know that. Keep that in mind. But what was King's response? Go ahead, sister. What was King's response?
This is a litany to those of us in this field. What more will the Negro want? What will it take to make these demonstrations end? Well, I would like to reply with another rhetorical?
Yes, yes, yes. Good, good.
Rhetorical question. Why do white people seem to find it so difficult to understand that the Negro is sick and tired of having rel I don't know how to pronounce that.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly
Parceled.
parceled out to him those rights and privileges which all others receive upon birth or entry in America. I never cease to wonder at the amazing presumption of much of white society, assuming that they have the right to bargain with the Negro for his freedom. This continued arrogant ladling out of
Yep,
pieces,
ladling, like a soup ladle. Ladling.
ladling out of pieces of the rights of citizenship has begun to generate a fury in the Negro.
Fury.
Oh,
Fury.
fury.
A furry fury. It does look like furry as well.
A fury in the Negro. Even so, he is not pressing for revenge or conquest to gain spoils, or to enslave, or even to marry the sisters of those who have injured him. What the Negro wants and will not stop until he gets is absolute and unqualified freedom and equality here in this land of his birth, and not in Africa or in some imaginary state. The
Boom!
Negro,
Let's keep going, but keep going. But boom, right there. That's would have been the explosion. I did the explosion. Go ahead, sister. Keep going.
the Negro no longer will be tolerant of anything less than his due right and heritage. He is pursuing only that which he knows is honorably his. He knows that he is right. Few white people, even today, will face the clear fact that the very future and destiny of his country are tied up in what answer will be given to the Negro. And that answer must be given soon.
Boom. Must be given soon. So he states, what more? Thank you. That was a
Wow,
beautiful
that was
reading,
beautiful.
right?
Whose baby was that, please, if I may ask?
It's J Freeway.
I thought so. Oh, that is awesome. And we must remember, even though it's 10 o'clock, we still got little ones and little elders listening. So I am so glad to have you here, young sister. Thank you
Yeah.
for being a
Thank
part.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right on time, right on time. So I'm just going to break it down. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but he goes in depth just to break it down and give you that fire. He's like, man, look, what more does the Negro want? What more are we going to do and tolerate? And we ain't going to stop until we get it. We ain't going to stop until we get our absolute and unqualified freedom and equality here in the land of our birth and not in Africa or some imaginary state. I don't think he could have put it more plainer than that. Are we right or wrong with that? It's 1965. Civil rights movement was still going on in 65. They just weren't promoting this. They don't never promote this. Ever. His I Have a Dream speech says, we are American all day, tonight, and tomorrow. But don't nobody pick up on that. They always want to push
Mhm.
this African dynamic. But here he states it that not in Africa or some imaginary state, because he knew the colonization society was still at work. You understand? And today they still at
Mhm.
work. They still at work. They ain't stopped. So the so-called Negro, we will no longer be tolerant of anything less than our due right and heritage.
Heritage.
Well, if we ain't from
It
Africa,
make
where
it
we
makes
from, dog?
sense.
If we ain't from
Hmm.
Africa, where he saying we from? Right here in America.
Exactly. We're here.
And this is
That's
our
why
due
people
right.
like my grandmother. Yeah, that's like
Come
why
on.
people like my grandmother and a lot of the elders were so against this thing about Africa. They never, we growing up, because we grew up in Toronto, we didn't know. We thought like, oh, mama doesn't like being black, or she's embarrassed of being African. We didn't know. When we reflect back on it, we know now she knew what she was talking about, you know?
Yeah, it's just called, we got a lot of apologizing to do. That's all. It's all good. But
Exactly.
Unmuted.
mama love you for that one. You be like, damn, about time you woke up. I was telling your ass when you was little, but you ain't get it. Anyway, and then it says we are
Hello.
pursuing only which we know is honorably ours. We know we are right. In truth, few people even today, and he's speaking like he's speaking right now because I'm speaking it for him, and it is very true. Even right now, today, 2019, that these same people and others will face the clear fact that the very future and destiny of this so-called country called the United States of America are tied up, and when answer will be given to the Aboriginal peoples of America. And that answer must be given soon. To break it down. Mhm.
Hello. Testing, testing.
Yes.
Hey, what up? Yeah, I got a question real quick. I overheard you guys talking, saying something cost 10,000. What was that? That cost 10,000?
Oh, there's a first edition of the terms and definitions of the Constitution. The first edition of that is $10,000. We have the sixth revised edition of the Bouvier's dictionary as it pertains to the Constitution.
So
The
so is
first
it
edition.
is it like one in the world or something, or is it just they
No,
just
they got
press?
books that cost millions of dollars, bro. That's on the cheap end. Definitely that's the cheap end. You got books that kick off like 250, couple hundred million. I mean,
But
depends
they're
on the
still
information.
manufacturing them. They're still making them and
No,
manufacturing them, or
hell no,
or they're
absolutely not. Negatory, good buddy.
so it's kind of like a memorabilia type thing, like a Babe
It's
Ruth
on
rookie or some shit like that, right? Like a
yeah, it's rare books.
oh,
Yeah, it's
okay,
rare
okay,
books.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So they out of production because they don't want people to know. So you can get a like 27th revised edition, but it ain't nothing like the first because the first is what they were sitting down at the table figuring out what these terms gonna mean.
But
You understand?
but is there only a certain amount in the world? So there's only a certain amount of them, or are
Yes.
they reproducing them still or making
Well,
copies?
there's one at Library of Congress. They got one at the Smithsonian. There's a few. They don't produce them no more, and they can reproduce them if you want to. You could get it reproduced, but you're gonna have to buy the $10,000 version to get the reproduction version. Then
Okay,
you dig.
okay, okay.
Then you
So
get the version and you reproduce it yourself.
no guarantees, but I might be able to get it
So it's
if that's
John Bouvier,
cool.
first edition. It should be 1700 and 1776, right around or a little
Muted.
because they was making up the terms before they actually published the Constitution. So it would actually be before the signing date of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to square away the terms before people gonna sign off on the contract. You supposed to, correct?
Actually,
But
Carter,
definitely,
remember if you pull that it had a note down there at the bottom of that book. It was I think we when we looked it up, it was on Rare Books.
oh
Um,
yeah,
that way they can understand what you're saying.
yeah, the rare books, rare maps, rare everything. Woo. It is what it is. It's It's a good stuff. And we'll get into our notice Montanas on the next class, go even further into this thing. But right now, I just wanted to give us a basis to push off from, a point of departure. The point of departure is the Constitution right now, and it is the history of who we are, the definition and terms, which words right. And we have to match the words up with what has happened to us in history. So when we start saying, using codified term Indian, we're not thinking Native Americans. The Native Americans are from Siberia. You could call them the Kroyak people. I'm probably messing up the spelling, but Koryak culture, Siberia. We go with some images, and here they are. You can definitely see, and if you was to be out there on the reservation, you would call these people the who? Who would you call these people if you saw them out there like this? What do those people look
Mr.
like?
Chin. Mr. Chin.
But these are the people that's on the reservation. These are the Native Americans, are they not? There's the classic teepee that is shown. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. Here are your Native Americans. This is what they be looking like. Cool. These are the same people on the reservations. Ain't no different people. They ain't different. These ain't the Aboriginal Americans. These the Kroyak cultures of Siberia. Living with Kroyak traditions. University of Nebraska Press. Playing with culture in Siberia. They don't never deny that they come from there. They story be like, we came from Siberia over the land bridge. So they not from America. They came here from somewhere else, and when they came here, they saw us. Our history is in the pyramids. These are not the pyramid builders. These are not the mound builders. You can't be building mounds if you living in teepees. Right or wrong?
Unmuted.
Exactly.
What would be the point? No. Absolutely.
Muted. Unmuted.
Zero.
Let's just state that for the record.
And again, listen,
no pyramids in Siberia.
Is my question.
No pyramids in Siberia.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of, but if there are,
excuse me, you guys.
How is you rocking teepees?
Excuse me, Seafood.
Yeah.
We have nonetheless want to know where y'all reading from a few minutes ago. So maybe somebody needs some. Do you?
I just switched it up. I was reading from I just typed in Kroyak culture Siberia.
Okay.
No, I think he's talking about the Martin Luther King. Can we get that link? Because we.
Yeah. Okay, that link to that interview, no problem.
Be coming right up.
Cool.
So yeah, y'all make sure y'all catch the show live too, if y'all can. Sunday,
there you go.
6:30 Eastern. Because when you get the video upload, you don't get a chance to get the links.
And Ty, it wouldn't let me drop the I tried to drop the web page in there on YouTube, but it wouldn't let me, so I just put the phone number and the access code. But you could drop the website in there.
It won't let me do it either.
Really?
Yeah, wow. It wouldn't let me. I tried to have it up there.
We getting real, y'all. The real, this
That's
is
deep.
Well, I said it is not deep. I already let y'all know. Y'all just was in disbelief.
I do know. I know how they do it.
I do. But I'm saying they don't want this out in the public, man. They will go through man, as long as you're doing it in private, don't care. So this is why this platform is great. But when you attempt to get it out to public domain, they be like, oh, no, we're going to chop, we're going to cut, we're going to censor, we're going to take out, we're going to lose your upload. We're going to have technical difficulties with you.
Yeah, and on top of that,
you want to put a 2-hour... Go ahead.
Go ahead. On top of that, our own people going to try to discredit us and disclaim us. And, they're idiots, and they're this, and they're that. On top of them trying not to let it get it out. Our own people going to disown us. That's the worst part
Most
about
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
That's the coonery. And because all skin folk ain't kin folk. What if they're really Moors? Yeah. What if they're really Romans that we think that are our people? What if they're that? You're saying that ever come across your mind? Y'all have heard of sleeper agents and shit like that. I'm pretty sure y'all watched some James Bond movies and stuff back in the day. Pretty sure you're not. We just don't think that it can happen to us. But it's happening, y'all. Trust that. It's going on right now. You can go outside, and when you go out there, you can run into it all day, tonight, and tomorrow. It's called life.
Yep. But we're gonna keep
Can you
going.
dig
We're
it?
gonna keep strutting. We're gonna keep
So,
hitting with the
with that
new
being stated, keep
information.
rolling. Man, keep hitting them.
And
We're
this
going to
is
keep
one
hitting
of
them.
many,
So,
y'all. This is one of many.
we're going to keep it moving with Plecker a little bit, and then we're going to open it up to question and answers. And definitely, we like to get it in while we're rolling, but we can get it in after the fact. So, Plecker, to finish up with Plecker, it was the policy's legacy was to effectively erase Indian as an identity. Now you know why they wanted to erase Indian as an identity for us. It ain't that we was actually Indian, because you see the Indian is in quotes, but Indian is the codified language that's used in the Constitution. In the states right here, the policy's legacy was to effectively erase Indian as an identity and has made it difficult. And I'm not going to say for Virginia Indians, but all of our people who is called Indians or identify with Aboriginal American, codified as Indian in the Constitution, it has been tough for our people to gain state and federal recognition. Do the Native Americans have any problem with gaining state and federal recognition? Yes or no?
No, hell no.
So they ain't talking about them people again. Again, we know who they talking about, but if we speed read, you won't get it. You'll just miss this right here. So since the Native Americans ain't having not a one problem to be recognized and all this stuff, matter of fact, they giving out bonuses and shit, right? Because there's a hidden agenda with that. You know, $5, come on. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never had a problem. They ain't $5 in. Go ahead. Yeah, there's a song. Check it out. I'm gonna drop the link. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the Walter Ashby Plecker, but I do got the $5 Indian link, which it is a song that a white
Please
dude
drop
made up
it.
called $5 Indian.
Cause I mean, most people I ask on the other side, them pale people, they ain't never heard of the $5 Indian.
Oh, they a lie because they made the song. Watch this. I'm about to YouTube $5 Indian. Watch this. Watch how much they be lying. Watch how much they be lying. So no, they not, because this is for educational purposes. We have full authorization to use any materials under the Freedom of Information Act, to use anything to prove as teaching. This is not for sale or resale. So if they want to come at us, they can, but I'm letting them know Freedom of Information Act, and we own our land. So we're not doing this to reproduce the song or to promote the song or get any monetary value off the song. This is definitely for education purposes. So in that case, with that being said, and the law backs that up, we about to put this $5 Indian on. So
$5 Indian.
$5 Indian lyrics. Man, look, we go get the $5 Indian. $5 Indian. Oh man, hold on. Not the real history. We want the $5 Indian. $5 Indian. $5 Indian song. Song. Let's see. Song and lyrics, if they get the song
And
and lyrics.
Kota,
Yeah.
you just passed by that Indian, the one that they showed the famous crier. You taught us on him last week, didn't you? About how he's from
Sicily or some shit I heard.
$5 Indian by Eddie Lawrence, I think. So let's see. They're talking about them.
Right. And y'all don't forget, this is a family program as well. So this is a family program. We're keeping this family. Sunday nights, bring your family out, hook it up to your TV. If you got your projector, hook it up to your projector. Sit the family down, and we gonna keep it family.
Well, I was gonna play the $5 Indian. Look like they pause for the cause, but if it should start back up, we
I
can
can
let
play
it rock and roll. Yeah, $5 Indian, the song, the album Going to Water, and it's by Eddie Lawrence. $5 Indian. It was very popular back in the day. $5 Indian, down, $5 Indian, down. So So they know about
You're
that. They
not
be
gonna
doing it
do
out.
anything either because they got us stopped too.
Oh,
Oh,
they
they
got
They
cut
ain't
us
everybody
off
playing
stopped.
with
too.
us. Yeah, they
Yeah, they
ain't
cut.
playing
They
with
cut.
us.
I mean,
They
I'm
cut
They
it.
ain't
paused. Like,
playing with us.
They
y'all
cut
see,
it.
I'm where they ain't giving $5. They like, we'll show you. We'll just not play it. Ha 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 ha.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But Eddie Lawrence, y'all, Eddie Lawrence, $5 Indian, YouTube it, blow it up, and then you could play it for them. And when you play it for them, they be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that song." And what you talking about? See, y'all be lying all the time. They be just be lying about the lies that they lied about. Lineage, bro, not family. Children, not kids. Absolutely, Octarine. Lineage, not family. Children, not kids. Absolutely. So definitely appreciate that reminder. So definitely Walter Ashby Plecker, his policy, their whole thing was to erase us in our identity. And they moved us into this colored Negro black dynamic. They took us away from our royalty, which is displayed by the Inca Kings list that we went over. They took us out of our emblemage and the personification of our people, which is enshrined in the emblem of America as a representation of the American people. To recap, census is going to be asking black folks where their origin is, so American colonization society is still in full effect, in which Frederick Douglass was talking about.
Mm.
Of which Frederick Douglass, and I'm about to bust it out further with Frederick, so we're going to shut it down on a real hardcore note, give y'all something to think about. So he comes down to this couple of paragraphs that I want to read, and he states in Frederick Douglass,
Muted.
there you go. Go ahead, let's play the $5 Indian, and then we get into Freddie D.
For 500 years.
500 years.
Out of a trail of tears. You blend a
Yep,
little
trail of tears.
Tennessee whiskey with a little Tennessee clay. Till it boils into the blood red brew that's rolling through my.
Mm, mm, mm.
I think we lost
You
him
guys
for a
still
minute.
there? I'm so sorry. I thought I was muted.
No, we still
Oh,
here.
oh, I
I think
found
the
this.
$5 Indian song kind of went off. They chopped us off again or something like that. But anyway,
Oh, because I was playing it too. I don't know how. That's crazy. He said we take a little walk on the trail of tears.
that's what I'm saying. They know. They
Oh
said shake
my
it up for 500 years,
goodness.
and what you got is a
Yeah.
$5 Indian because
What
they
in
made it
the
all up. They
world?
made it all up. That's what I'm saying. People don't want to hear they
Oh
made up stuff that
my
they believe in, but
goodness.
they made it up like Christmas. They
That's
made that shit
crazy.
up like that stuff up like Jesus. They made it up like the Holy Quran and the Bible. They made it and fabricate that out the crack of their butt cheeks. That's what they did. They made it up just like Wendy's.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
they
did it just like Burger King. You can have it your way. They did a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, they know about it. But they make songs about it. We just don't listen to country, and that's our problem. And movies about there's a $5 Indian movie. A Taco where the real joints come up. A Taco. Right. Get the heck on now. Get the heck on. So, getting back to Frederick Douglass, thank you for the $5 Indian interlude, so to speak. Freddie D says, they tell us we owe something to our native land. Well, this sounds well, considering they want to say Africa is our native land, so this is the dynamic that he's coming from. Said that we owe something to this Africa. They call it that our native land. He said that's all sounds well, but when the fact is brought into view, which should never be forgotten, that we can only name from one land, and that is the land in which we are born. The bottom falls entirely out of this sentimental argument. And then here's the clinchpin or the linchpin to tell you who the people who doing the dastardly deed. Because if somebody has a business, you have to have a supply and a what?
Unmuted.
Supply. A supply, yes. Yeah, lineage, brother. Yeah, we good. So definitely
Muted.
linking up like Lincoln Logs up in this joint.
Unmuted. Muted.
On fire. Uh-oh. There you go. Okay, went through. Okay. So it kicks off with Africa. Listen closely. Africa. Who put the order in? Who put the order in, people? It starts off with Africa. So the supplier is America. Who demands it? Who demands it?
Africa.
Who is the demand side? Thank you. Africa.
Africa.
According to her, yes, thank you. Africa, according to her colonization advocates, is by no means modest in her what? In her, oh, so who's supplying? America, so to speak, American Colonization Society is the supplier, but who's demanding this supply? Who's the one real culprit for the supply? Is it the people selling it or the people wanting to buy something that they shouldn't be wanting to buy? Which one is it?
The buyers.
No kidding. As well as the sellers, we're going to hold them both accountable, but it's more so the buyers. So Africa is the one that's the buyer. They're the one demanding that we go. And he states in the second sentence, she calls upon us to send her only our best people. She does not want our riff-raff, but our best. But these are just the people, I'm not going to say men, but the people who are valuable or who are wanted at home, period. He goes on to state, it's true that we have a few preachers and some laymen. We can get rid of Dr. Umar Johnson, everybody like that, Creflo Dollar and all them cats. We could easily spare those, Jesse Jackson and the like, right or wrong. Go ahead, bounce, kick rocks. You ain't doing no good here any day going way, right? Go ahead and bounce and kick rocks. The Hebrew Israelites, y'all can have them people, man. It's all gravy. Go on back home then. You feel me? But some would possibly do as much good by going there as by staying here. In other words, you know what? We really don't need these people. But then he comes back to it, commentary, and he gets back into it. He says, but this is not the colonization idea. No, my good friend. Its advocates want not only the best, but dig this. They want millions of the best. Because this is what he's writing. Better still, better even still. Guess what? Just like Donald Trump, Africa wants United States government to vote the money to send them there. They don't even want to pay for their own shit. Ain't that a blip? So who really is doing behind the scenes, people? Who behind the scenes of this whole? Let y'all answer it. I ain't even going to say nothing until y'all answer it. There's 13 people. I can get an answer from somewhere.
The Africans.
It's right there in black and white. This is what actually happened.
The United States. They want the United States government to vote the money to send them.
To send us there. To send our ancestors over there.
Us, our ancestors there.
Yes. Boom. And then the Africans, which is the they, and it's they, so it's not seen to see that if the government votes money to send our people, our American people to Africa, remember, they ain't saying bringing our people back home. Africa ain't saying, you know what, you stole our people from us a little while ago, like, 20 years ago. Can we get them back?
Exactly.
Remember, this is the 1800s, people. This is 1800. 20 years ago would have been mid-1800s. 30, 40 years ago would have still been mid-1800s. And if you was born, if you're 40 now, as opposed to someone 15 now, you're not like this old dude that don't exist no more. You still very much exist. So you don't forget that quick. Come on. Here's the 17 and the 1800s talking about slavery in full swing, but here everybody ain't talking about bringing no Negroes from Africa. Everybody talking about sending us to America. I mean, sending us from America to Africa, not from Africa to America. The conversation ain't
it's backwards.
none of that, because the people in, hey, give us our people back. Thank you. They're not saying give us our people back. They say, hey, we're going to buy your people, send them over here so we can expand this thing called Africa idea that we got working on. And that the United States government, who is beholden to the crown, to England and all that, because they still the colonists, even though we helped them, some of those people still got allegiances that they haven't severed, that they were supposed to sever. But they get up in there saying they're going to sever it and they don't sever it. So that's treason right there. And it says that the government, which brings us full circle, that I wanted to end it out on this note, and it says that the government may employ means to complete the arrangement and compel us to go. Correct? Read that statement again,
Yeah.
sister. Go ahead. Read that again. Read this whole sentence again. Somebody read this last sentence, please.
Okay. They do not seem to see that if the government votes money to send the Negro to Africa, that the government may employ means to complete the arrangement and compel us to go.
Yes, and that leads us right here.
Unmuted.
T20 census. We come full circle. Now I can close this thing out. Took us a while to get here.
Can you tell us? Oh, can y'all hear me testing? Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit how that ties into the Pan African movement?
Yes, the Pan-African movement and all of this is a product of the colonization society by very definition.
Yeah.
Colonization by its very definition, and I'll pull that definition up by its etymological definition, which is the truth of the word, right? colonization. Colonization means, again, let's go over the definition, means act or process of colonizing, state of being a colony from 1758, a noun of action, which is a verb, I guess you could call it, from colonize. And then it states in U.S. history, the movement for assisted immigration of free blacks to Africa for the formation of colonies there. So anybody who's down with that is down with the American Colonization Society modern day, called themselves the Pan-African movement. That's what that is. It's
Exactly.
called coons. It's called sellouts. It's called whatever you want to call it, but who uproot somebody from their house and trade them off to other people? Who does that? Who does that? Who? Tell me, does your brother do that to you? Is that the idea?
Not
Sell your brother into servitude? Or your sister and your family and your mom and your sister, your uncle? Like, who does that? There's the definition. You could say, people could say what they want, but anybody
Muted.
advocating to send our people there, as Frederick Douglass will say when you get done reading it, is a total moron and an idiot not deserving of life. So, there you go. Deal with it. Everybody just got to deal with it. Because that's called genocide. Anybody attempting to do that is hit with genocide. And genocide is a very real punishable thing. Right? And we'll end it with this, and we'll pick up next week with genocide and go into how we prevent this. But 18 Code USC 1091 explicitly states genocide. Whoever, whether in time of peace or in time of war, with the specific intent to destroy in whole or in substantial part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group by any way it could be done, whether it be by killing members of that group, causing seriously bodily harm to the members of that group, causes permanent impairment of the mental faculties, and that's what we're all experiencing. Are we not? Because we calling ourselves a color that we ain't. Correct? You got people running around
Yep.
calling themselves black, and they clearly ain't black. We got people calling ourselves African Americans. We got people that's on all kind of drugs, going under this mental and physical torture, spiritual torture, and similar techniques. Correct? They're subjecting our people to conditions of life that are intended to cause the physical destruction of our people in whole or in part. They also impose measures intended to prevent our births within our community and people. Ever heard of Planned Parenthood?
Mm-hmm.
DCFS, Children and Youth Family Services, etc., so on and so forth. And who transfers by force children of our people from our homes into foster homes and wards of the state. So
Yep.
they are all guilty of genocide, every last single one of them. So the penalty for that is death. And I didn't make that up. 18 USC said that. So let's see. The first if for the basic offense is $1,000,000 and life in jail. So that's at the least they get for a basic offense. Punishment for basic offense. Y'all see that? Says B, right? Punishment for the basics. Just the basics. So every teacher who's teaching African American studies can be sued under this because it's the basics. Every school who promote African American studies can be sued under this. It's the basics. Every police, movie, every person that come up to you when you say I'm Aboriginal and they say no you ain't, can be just on the basics.
Mm-hmm.
A fine not more than $1,000,000 or in prison not more than 20 years of both, and can up to leading to death penalty, as it says, where death results by death or imprisonment for life and a fine of not more than $1,000,000, and or both. Even if you incite the problem. Uh-oh, you got some feedback. Got you. You can unmute yourself at any time. But the incitement offenses, meaning attempting conspiracy and all of that, is 500,000, 5 years of both. And attempting conspiracy right here is who attempts or conspires to commit an offense under this section shall be punished in the same manner as a person who completes the offense. So it don't even matter if you even think about it. I got you. So that might work for the average Negro, but I ain't no Negro. I'm full-blooded Aborigine right here, and that's the problem. They looking at the cover of the book and they ain't understanding the contents on the inside, so that ain't my fault. That's their fault. And that need to be, we all need to be like that. So when they open up the contents of that, they get to see it ain't what the cover, what they thought the cover meant. Then they get to see us in a different light. Not until then. Till then, it's like, man, it's a free fall going on right now. There's those who know. There's everybody who attempting to know. There's those who don't want to know. Oblivious, right? And don't want to know. Then it goes over jurisdiction. There is jurisdiction over the offenses described. The offense is committed in whole or in part within the United States, or regardless of where the offense is committed, the alleged offender is a national of the United States, as that term is designed in Section 101 of what? Immigration and nationality. So all this only pertains to immigrants against genociding Aboriginal people, because all immigrants got to take an oath and affirmation when they come into this country or upon taking a duty at a position of public trust. Correct? They got to do that. So with that being stated, all immigrants fall under that. And it states B, an alien. So, man, can't get no more clear. Alien is just anybody who ain't from here, which is everybody. Like Obama said, if you ain't the original Americans, then you came from someplace else. And the Native Americans certainly came from someplace else. They came here. We the only people ain't never came from anywhere to here. And there's a difference with that. Always being and coming to some places, two different things. So an alien lawfully admitted for permanent residence, which is called a U.S. citizen, in the United States, as that term is defined by Section 101 of the Immigration Act, which is 18 U.S.C. 1101, which states a U.S. immigrant, or a stateless person whose habitual residence is the United States or present in the United States. And that's a lot of people too. So all immigrants can be charged no matter where they at on the land if they commit these offenses upon our people. Can y'all dig it? It's a very real thing, but we have never seen none of our people sue any of these people under any of these code statutes, policies, or even human rights. All they want to jam down your throat is some daggone civil rights that don't work worth a damn. That's all they want to do. So all they want to do is throw some pseudo law and say, here, use this, but you can only get a fine of up to 100 grand. Like, you can't get nothing real. You can't get no real change. 100,000 is like they wipe their butt cheeks with that. You know what I'm saying? 100,000 ain't. They got cars that cost like 20 million. Like 100,000 ain't even a down payment on some joints. You feel me? They putting satellites in space. 100,000 ain't nothing. It's a joke right there. That ain't even tax on the joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. So anyway, they just jacking people around with that. But when people start getting serious and understand who they are, then you got protection under the Constitution protects you, and the treaties protect you, and international law protecting us, and national law, the law of the United States, which we didn't get into, but I'll briefly go over what next week class is gonna can be about. So I had intended to go over more in depth of the OES, which culminates in our rights, which is the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. I feel everybody should have a copy of this. Now that we set the stage up for who we are, now we can understand what the protections of these people have to be once we understand who we are. And just to give a little preview of next week, this is the authentic publication, as we see with the ISBN number right here. And we're going to go on. I'm just going to get to the meats of Article 1. And here's a little footnote. The United States remains committed to addressing the urgent issues of concern to our peoples across the Americas, including combating societal discrimination against our peoples and etc. But we're going to go into it just to give the first two articles. So Article 1 states the American Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples apply to our people of the America only. And that's the islands included. Number 2, and this is important, self-identification as who we are as a people is a fundamental criterion for determining who this law applies. Can you understand? So if you take yourself out of the contract, they can't help you. And the states shall respect the right to such self-identification as who we are, whether individually or collectively. It's our job to know that, and it's our job to enforce that. And anytime somebody attempts to take it away, it's our job to hit them with the law, the statutes, the codes, the policies, etc. Bring them back to this source and be like, hey man,
Unmuted.
Section 1 and 2, you can't do that. Because it states I have the right to self-identify myself as an Aborigine American, and that's in the criterion for the protection not only under the Constitution that labels me and my people as Indians codified, that your people signed upon coming to my land, right, but I'm protected by both national and international law at the same time. So are you going to commit genocide on me today? That should be your response to any of that. But it's not. It's whatever that ain't. Once our response becomes that, they gonna stop messing with you, because now you can get them for $1 million and put them in jail for life just for thinking about it. Just for thinking about it.
Damn.
That's
But yeah, we're gonna
a whole nother business. If you want to do that for a business, we'd be rich over damn night. We'd be rich overnight. I'm just saying, if you want to chase the damn fiat currency, we know that can't make you rich, but you'd be free overnight. A couple of good battles, be up out of there.
And we're going to get into that next week, y'all. Yeah. Understand this is a family show, so you ain't got to worry about, too many cussing words, vulgar language, any weeds or drugs, smoking or anything like that. This is a family show, so you can watch it with your family. Aboriginal Power, I want you to email them. Also, James Gilmore in the building. But this is one of the reasons why we must reach out to the tribes that's already up and established and trying, because they need numbers. Numbers equals power. Powers equals freedom. And so there's tribes and there's nations that's already out here, and they already doing things. They already halfway to the vision of what we want to be at, our end game. We had I talked about 30 years ahead. We have our own Hong Kong, and I talk about all this futuristic stuff, and behold, there's people out here that's halfway there already. We need to be able to reach out to these people, and we need to be able to have a communication with these people. Now, one of my jobs, I'm going to try to get all these tribes together and see if we can get them dialoguing with each other. Just a dialogue with each other, whatever network we come up with, but we try to get them their own network where they can call each other. This tribe can call this tribe. So they're already out there, y'all. So so we way beyond we was last year. Last year we was coming into it. It was new. It was fun. We was messed around without Pan Africans. This year it's real. They out here. So whatever summoned them up, they came to us, and whatever spirit or whatever you want to say, that we know they exist, we have to reach out to them. And chances are, especially y'all in the South, chances are there's lots of these tribes and there's lots of these nations all around you, and they lacking manpower, and they lacking people, um, going there with pure intentions. You see, this is not a come up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people going there trying to figure out who they gonna come up, going there, got 9 babies and things like that. They're looking for real serious individuals. Now I was on the phone the other day with a couple chiefs, a couple people, and that's chiefs of nation, and they was able to get a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And so we're trying to get all these tribes together, and we're trying to let them get a dialogue. And we, as the people, we have to be able to fall in line. If you come in thinking you're taking over, if you come in thinking you're ruling something or you're gonna do this, it's not gonna happen. You need to be able to fall in line. So these people been holding these land down for for centuries. These people been holding these land down before the colonizers. So if when you do get a hold of them, come with respect. You know what I'm saying? Come with respect. Try to carry yourself a little bit better if you're going to be associated with them, because what we do, if I'm associated with this tribe and they on my channel, and then next thing you know, I'm out cussing some dude out or talking trash to some woman, it could make them look bad. You see what I'm saying? So we got to make sure we have some type of respect with that. And um AP, we're gonna give them your email. And again, this is a family structured show, so we try to keep the cursor. We try to keep everything down. Of course, it's gonna be some probably slipped in on some show, but we just want everybody to know that we want everybody to come out in front of the TV. Family members, moms, dads, grandmas, take a look at this, because we breaking it down step by step by step by step, and it's probably not never gonna happen, or it's probably going to be a while before it happens like this again. So, shout out to the brother, you know what I'm saying, and his nation. Shout out to Chief Williamina, everybody that's in the chat room that's been supporting and that's been, understanding what's going on. And we going to keep pushing, and, we ain't going nowhere, you know what I'm saying? But, and, let's get our Chief Holiday in the building. Chief Holiday in the building. What up, Chief Holiday? And Chief Holiday in the building. So you already know. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I already know.
Go ahead,
You
Chief.
already know, man. Shout out to Lakota Key Bay, man, and the Empress, Chief Williamina. Yeah, man. Shout out to y'all.
Muted.
Definitely appreciate the work that you put in, that you're putting in, and and like the brother said, man, we're here to work, man. We're here to help. So we're here to serve. And last time I checked, that's what I think when people have the concept of kings and queens and chiefs and empresses and chieftains, right? They think from the European mindset. You know what I'm saying? We don't think from the European mindset. We think from a serve mindset, and that you're there to serve the people, not the people that serve you. So stop having these type of mindsets, man.
Yes, indeed. Great reflections. We,
Unmuted.
Iroquois Confederacy of Aboriginal American People, and we are here to unite all the tribes to secure
Muted.
our rights and to make sure that we reclaim what our ancestors left behind. As um, Ty Holiday, or no, I got it mixed up. Ty, Ty, Ty Data stated earlier in this conversation, they have manipulated the words. This is Armageddon, and Armageddon is a war of words. And so when we become better stewards of words and understand the words and use them correctly for which they were originally intended, then we begin to tear down those spells, and we begin to unite, and we begin to understand, and we begin to build that structure, build that power. with those numbers. And so I appreciate each and everyone on the line today. We hope that you'll come back to hear more great words from one of our leaders, Ynga Kota, Kibe, and there'll be other teachers to come along as well. That's what we strive to do, is to build each of you to be able to articulate yourself correctly with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what our ancestors left behind for us. A lot of people think the Constitution, Declaration of Independence were documents written by the Europeans because they put their faces on them. But we now understand that these are documents, as Ty said, left behind for our ancestors to keep these, from our ancestors to keep these people in check. And
Unmuted.
apply these words. We need to apply these documents and make them living documents and not something ancient. And we need to let these oppressors know that we now know and better understand and know how to use these documents. My title is Ikahana Makina, which simply means the knowledge to manifest the great sun.
Boom.
That was our Grand Inca of the Iroquois Confederation.
There you go. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Kota
Chief.
is the Inca, and she is our Grand Inca. She is the feminine aspect of our matriarchal society that we are building. She is our leader, our great leader.
She is the leader. Absolutely. I'm just co-chief. I'm co-chief. She is the leader. Absolutely. And
Much respect. Hold on 1 second. Let me. Yeah, thank you for being here. We try to come with humbleness and much respect. We are on our backup channel. We're gonna upload it on some of our bigger channels. It's called Tribe Up, and one of the cheap holiday channels. And we're gonna try to see if we can pass it around. And so yeah, we appreciate it, and we hear the more the more detailed the instructions you can give us, the quicker and better we can fulfill what you need. And we just want to say that. And like we said, we want to get all the established running tribes. Now we know it is important to know your own personal tribe and to know your own heritage. That's important too. But don't forget reality. Your personal tribe might not be here no more. Your personal tribe might be a $5 tribe. So we so so
right.
so right. So we're not going to forget our own individual
And we're
journeys
not.
as well. But we gotta keep it real. Who's here? We need to be able to support who's here and who is able to last through whatever happened. So we need to be able to reach out to these people. And so this is our focus. This is our aim. This is this is where we're going. And so anybody that's not doing that, then I'm not sure what you're doing, because there's people out here that's already doing it, and they lack manpower. And everybody know one of my first videos I ever did on Lex Vortex, or the Top Data Show, is I broke down the difference between population and location. Now, if you look at the most populated cities in America and you look at the richest city in America, they both go hand to hand for a reason. There's a reason why California is one of the richest and one of the most populated. There's a reason why, you know what I'm saying? So your manpower, and your population and location is basically, that's pretty much everything. And that's one of the reasons why they split the world up in different little compartments. You see, that's why they got, for example, like the other day, I heard Venezuela and Colombia used to be together, and they split that up because they didn't like all that manpower. Ethiopia and like Eritrea, and then you got Kenya and Somalia. Them all that's all one people. They split all that stuff up, and I don't mean one people, but some of that, they split all that up for a reason, because they didn't want no
Mm-hmm.
strong populations. They didn't want no super strong
Yep.
populations. And so So it's very important that we give these people their population, and even though there might not be your your heritage tribe or your bloodline tribe, but that's the closest you're gonna get. And
Yeah.
you might as well just take all the energy and all the connection you have on you know your actually your heritage tribe, which may or may not exist. You might as well just give it to them, and you know and continue to build and move forward. And that's the angle
Mhm.
Tribe Up is going. That's the angle we going with. We helping to build. Y'all know I'm all about manufacturing and production. So I mean, that's it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So the building don't stop here. The building keep going here. The real authentic building, it keeps going. So now it's time to get the tribes communicating, and that's where I stand right there. Let's get them communicating. Let's get them their own network. Whether you could pick up a phone that could be somewhat at least off of T-Mobile and off the main line. I mean, ain't no such thing as a 100% safe line, but at least you can take some measures to do what you got to do, or just matter of fact, an independent line. How about that? An independent line that we own.
Ex- Excuse me, Ty. If you could direct all of the tribal chiefs to contact me so I can set up that tribal council.
Right, right. Yep, yep. Yeah. See, I don't know all of them, but we're gonna be looking for more of them. And if you are a nation out there, and you're a nation out there, and you're looking for manpower, and you're looking for recognition, definitely contact us. We use tribeup.app as our social media platform, so that will be a perfect way to start. Just log on there. You can talk to anybody on there, and they're gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can you can contact Chief Holiday, Chief Holiday at gmail.com. You can contact me, DataDogs33, and all the information to the to today's show. It's in the description box. There's a link to their website. So if you are a person out there, or a chief, or someone in a nation who needs the manpower, we're trying to give it to you, and we hope that all the listeners and all the viewers can understand where we coming from. This is not the time to try to make a profit off a brother. This is not the time to try to make a buck off the sisters. It's time to start building.
Mhm.
And say what you
For
want
real.
Absolutely,
about your boy
absolutely.
Tad Data, but it's consistent. It's in my blood. I'm ready to build.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's
let's
what's
get it
up,
on.
bro.
And thanks, bro, man. You came through and you rocked it. And we're going to keep rocking it again. And I remind you, this is a family show. So
Copy
those of
that.
you who want to come on next
Copy
time
that.
and things like that, make sure you come in correctly, and leave your attitude at the door. And we welcome anybody with opposing view. Anybody with opposing view who can come on correctly in a family show and have a family discussion, and we can go from tip and tap and document to document, from paperwork to paperwork, book to book, right here. That's what's up.
Boom. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Muted.
And stated as we journey through to state about the different tribes that I wanted to state earlier, but definitely as we moving through, we'll see how we are all one people. So we might seem like strangers and brothers and sisters from a different mother, but I assure you we're not. As it has always
I
been
also
stated.
want to add.
Hmm.
Sorry. I also want to add quickly when the brother was talking about the manpower and how they separated the powers basically. Um, the same idea and knowledge should also be considered, not considered, but applied for the mainland to the Caribbean, because a lot of our brothers and sisters on the islands, like, we tend to be removed or not considered. And I've heard even people saying how we're all Africans, especially people from Jamaica,
Right.
when there's a lot of people in Jamaica the elders mostly who didn't even hear anything about this African slave trade, including my elders that I've spoken to.
Absolutely. It's
We're
all
very much
America.
we're here, exactly.
We're all connected, and that's what I mean. We're not separated. And the whole tribe thing, they came in with the tribe concept to separate us real quick. Tribe means one of the three political divisions of Rome. That's where we see the origination of tribe. So they came in with this concept of that concept meaning political organization. But the average person ain't a political organization. You know what I'm saying? So definitely
Yeah.
I get it, but we're gonna understand that we're all connected. And I'm glad you brought that up, sister, because we are no different people. They took people from Georgia to the
Mhm.
islands and from the islands to Georgia and vice versa. But before they came, we just used to do it ourselves. Period.
Yeah, we travel back and forth for sure.
The Arawak are in Jamaica, the Arawak are in all the islands, and to include Georgia and the Delawares and all of that, to include Mexico, Brazil, and all of that. And they still go by the same name. You know what I'm saying? Whether you call them Arawak, Lenape, Taino, whatever the case is, Olmec, Toltec, Mississippian culture is still the same Mississippian culture. They do all agree on Mississippian culture. We're going to do that on next time
Yeah,
and
Mississippian
show
culture. I've
the
seen
common
them mix
thread.
culture with I've seen them in Mississippian culture with the culture of the island as well.
Yes. So we'll go into that
As
on
well
the
as
next show.
Central
Definitely.
America.
It's kind of a little hard to hear you on that last end, but absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
So it was a little difficult to hear you that last part.
Oh no, I said in also Central and South America they connected with the Mississippian culture.
Yes. Yes. So definitely we're going to go through that stuff. We're going to get more in depth with it. I said this is just an overview, a tip of the iceberg to catch people up who may not have heard it before. To the people that's already been here, repetition is golden, right? Because that's the way we get it. You don't get it by hearing it once and then forget about it. You get it by being able to make it a part of your breath as you speak through life. Because we are the Aboriginal Americans, and we should always speak the truth, even if your voice shakes, even if your body
Most
trembles.
definitely.
Speak the truth. Just speak it.
Facts.
If your people ain't never said you was from Africa, accept that from nobody else.
And see.
Facts.
That's
Yeah, if I
really
haven't,
part of
I
the
don't think I've
American
met
thing.
everybody.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace and love. Yeah, peace and love to everybody, man. We definitely appreciate it, man. This is great. So yeah, man, go back and watch this, and we're gonna upload this on the other channels, man. So be on the lookout for that, and also tribeup.app. Here's the thing, right? I even when I'm in my real life, you talking to your real people that you can touch every day, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to ask them and say, well, look, if somebody has a business, right? You guys say that we got to do things for ourselves, and when somebody do it, you have to support it. Especially if it's not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if it's something for you and by you. You know what I'm saying? And we looking for everybody, man. We looking for all the help we can. If you sincerely really want to come work, man, come holler at us, man. We definitely
Absolutely. Yeah,
we're available.
tribeup.app. It's a great social media experience. Definitely is getting off the ground, but definitely it gives you that Facebook, Instagram type feel. I signed up for it, and that's the feel I got from. I'm not a big Instagram fan. I'm not really a big Facebook fan, as I am just comfortable with using the Facebook style interface. You know what I'm saying? Definitely been on Facebook for a little while, but it's a great platform, kind of like Instagram and Facebook combination. So I find it to be pretty easy to use, etc., and looks great. So kudos to you guys. Just saying like that. Good work on the app. Good work on the app. And I would advise everybody to download it to get it. Sign up. Sign up is free. Definitely. So it's a mode of communication.
Comparisons to Facebook, it's minus all of the garbage find on Facebook. I just wanted to point that out. That is a bunch of conscious people, so to speak, people looking to build with other informed people.
Boom.
Yeah.
So
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Uh,
tribeup.app. Put that in your
Rob up.
browser. Get that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we building, man. Like we said, we're gonna build more offline and stuff, man. So right now it's definitely about action. You know, we don't we never wanted to be the guys, man, that always came in whining every night and never had a solution. So we always want to be a solution based platform, man. So shout out to Ty Data, man. The cyborg, man. He back in his bag, man. You know what I'm saying? So we working hard, man. We about to bring it. We're just gonna be on forever. Like when we go on, we're just gonna be on. So that's the concept, man. We about to go, man. We're gonna rob the bank, if you can understand that, and we're gonna rob the bank, and everybody can can be a part of this, man. It's this movie. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Air Coordination, man. Shout out to Kusa Nation, man. Shout out to everybody that come through, man, and show us love, man. We definitely appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And I just want to express my gratitude directly to Tide Data for your efforts, your due diligence. Also, without a doubt, my dear friend and comrade in this struggle, in this fight, in this pursuit to regain and rebuild and reclaim our land, Chief Noyamina. You're the best.
Oh,
Yes, you
love you
help.
too.
Yes, thank you all. Everyone's efforts collectively will get us to our goals and mission. So, despite the challenges that we may face, despite the opposition that we may face, know that together that we are stronger and we're going to tear down these walls, these borders, these titles. We're going to shed them, we're going to leave them where they belong, and we're going to take on what we used to do, how we used to move, how we used to gather, and how we used to have camaraderie.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to rebuild that. And we're going to show the rest of the world how it's done.
Yes, we the model.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to getting down to Peoplestown to set the record straight in Georgia.
Indeed, it's true.
You know, Kemp, we coming. Keisha Bottoms, we on our way.
Okay.
Right, right.
Back, back. Anyway, we can get the peace to everybody, man. Shout out to the Empress, uh, Steve Warrior, Marina, man. We definitely appreciate you. You definitely it's like a glue that's just bringing a lot of people together, man. So peace to you. You definitely open our eyes up to a lot of things. She's always sending us information, man. So peace to you. And thank you.
I love you
For
guys
sure.
too. I love you guys too. And don't
Yeah,
forget
we
to
love
plug
you.
in about the powwow, Chi.
Well, I didn't want to be too premature. That's why I say we're gonna build. So
Okay,
we definitely
cool.
put more cities on. So we got Atlanta in there, man. Well, we ain't gonna say Atlanta. We're gonna say Peoplestown. We got Peoplestown on there, so we're gonna bring that apart, be a part of this First American People's Tour, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's going down. We pushing for people, empowerment of our people. So we're gonna go city to city, man, dropping this knowledge on our people. And I feel like I'm involved in the community. That this information creates peace. You know what I'm saying? So getting out there hand in hand with flyers with the people, man. So we want to, if you're in this town, man, we want to be able to do business with you, right? We want to do business with you. We will do business. Might send you some flyers with a check. You understand what I'm saying? So we really working right now. We really trying to empower our people, and I don't think we like to work with each other. I don't really like to say jobs because that don't work for us. We don't. Nobody wants to work for black people. Nobody, not even us. And I'm saying black for a reason, so everybody can understand. But that is a systemic problem that we have that nobody wants to work for us, not even us. So we have to change that. So I'm willing to work for, with, whatever, however you got to call it, whatever, to make people feel comfortable. But yeah, we definitely we grinding right now, man. So holler at us, man. chiefholly@gmail.com. Y'all already know the business line 702-718-2013. Man, y'all got access. Let's go. Let's get to work. Datadogs33 at gmail.com, man. You're not. Woo-hoo.